Hey y'all, this is a new vision rack that I just bought from a good friend of mine. Well, not just bought, but just now getting to setting it up. It's for hatchling. It holds the hatchling vision tubs. It has heat cable ran all the way through it. And I will show you how I set it up to suit my needs. After cleaning the entire rack, then I moved on to cleaning the tubs. This is only a small portion of them because there's like 70 something. But I washed all of these and then I repaired any small cracks that they had, which was actually my fault because I dropped a stack and it just kind of created a chain reaction on some of the corners. But no worries, we got this foil tape here from Home Depot. This is the tape I prefer to use because it's really easy to mold to any shape. And if you have back heating of any kind, it's conductive. And I'm sure you've seen it before for taping down heat tape and stuff like that. So anyway, that's the tape I prefer to use, only if all of the parts there's no holes broken out, because I would never put exposed tape or any kind of tape inside any kind of reptile enclosure. That's a huge no-no. But in this case, there is no openings on the insides of any of these. Then we have some deli cups here that I'm going to be putting inside to hold the water dishes so that they don't slide around the tub. You can get these online from Reptile Basics and a few other places. But you can also, if you have a Smart & Final, or I don't know if you can order online from Smart & Final, but they are way cheaper. There was 50 in this bag and the bag was just a couple bucks. I don't remember exactly, but it was cheap, let me tell you. The other supplies we have here are some zip ties that I got from the dollar store. We're going to be using those to fix these in there. And labels from the dollar store, Dollar Tree, I'm not sure, whatever they call it these days, or in your area. They look like this. I prefer to use these because the little label slides in and out, so you can change it as often as you need to. It just slides in and out of the plastic thing here. I can't do it with one hand, but if you run out of these, because only so many come in the pack, you can recycle any kind of boxes out of your kitchen, like cereal boxes or tea boxes, just anything that's like this thin cardboard. You just cut a small rectangle and you can slide that in and out of there. I do that all the time as well. To be making the holes in the vision tubs, I will be using this soldering gun. It works amazing. I will show you how that's done. I'm not concerned about putting holes in these vision tubs because it just makes a very small hole and it's a perfect hole. And even if I didn't use it to connect these water dishes like later down the road for whatever reason, or if I ever sold it to somebody else and they didn't like that, it just could be considered a couple air holes, because it will just be small enough for these little tiny zip ties. So I will show you how all of that is done. So this is the label holder right here. This little groove in the back is going to be the end of it. The opposite end is where the label is going to go in. So just be mindful of that. If you want them to pull out in a certain direction, then you want the moon-shaped hole to be at the back side. So you just stick it on like that, press it down, and then the little card slides right in here like that. You write on it, push it in there, and the reason that little hole is there is to get it out. You just push on the back of it there. It pushes out the tab a little bit. Like I said, I can't do it with one hand, but that's how you pull it out. Okay, next I've plugged in the soldering gun, and it is activated when you pull the trigger here. That's when it heats up. The water dish, this is not going to be the actual dish that the water goes in. This is just going to be the holder so that the dish doesn't slide around, and I'll show you how that works. But I actually hold it inside. Be careful when you do this not to burn yourself. I like to put it in the middle because if you connect it to a corner, you are not going to be able to get down in that corner very easy to clean. So I just put it right in the middle, kind of hold it there, pull the trigger, it has a light on it, wait till it heats up a little bit. Be very careful when you're doing this. I use my hand to hold, to push down. Just hold it, goes like that, right through both dishes. Very, very careful when you do this. Now I have 2 holes. Next I'm going to take this zip tie, insert it through the one hole, into the hole on the dish. Looks like this. Feed it back through that hole. And close up the zip tie. Okay, zip tie is connected. I cut off the excess piece there. So now this bowl is secured in there. Like I said, that will not be the actual bowl the water goes in. This bowl will be the water bowl, and it just sits in there like that. So you can take these out, replace it with a new one if that's how you do it, or take it out and clean it and put it back in. It will not slide around. It is there for good. These are, you see, they can't tip it over at all, and it is awesome. Just like that. Make sure that when you put the zip tie on that you pull it all the way tight so that there is no play in between the dish and the front of the tub, so that you don't have the snakes getting through there and getting their heads stuck down into this. You want to make sure it's really good and tight. Another way that you could do this, if you don't feel comfortable holding the bowl while you're burning the holes in the tub, I will show you. Also, I'm sure not everybody has a soldering gun at home. My husband just happened to have an extra one, but you could also pick up one at like a thrift store or a garage sale or something, or there's lots of other ways to burn holes in things. As I'm sure you know, you could use a pair of pliers with rubber grips to heat up a nail and do that, or heat up a small tipped knife, or I'm sure there's plenty of ways that you can come up with, or Google. So I will show you how to do it without holding on to the bowl. So I'm going to set the bowl in there so I can see where I want it. And with this pen, I'm going to mark 2 little spots there. I'm going to go ahead and burn those holes. And then what you can do is put the bowl back there and use some kind of a pen to push through the hole and mark your bowl. And now you know exactly where to burn the hole on the dish. Just like that. And then I'm going to put it back in there, line them up. Take the zip tie, feed it through, and I will say that I do recommend, whether you have a soldering gun or you use another way to burn the holes in, that I do recommend burning the holes. Do not try to put holes in it in any other way, because you will crack the plastic and end up with a bigger problem. So that is the one that we attached using the pen method and burning the bowls separate from the tub. The next step that I will take is I will be taking all these tubs outside and spraying the insides with the Preventamite. Now I am not concerned about getting it in this dish because this is not the dish that's going to have their water in it. That dish I obviously am not going to have in there when I'm spraying it with Preventamite. So I don't have to worry about that. After it's all sprayed and it dries and all of that, then you can put the water dish in, put in your substrate, and you're good to go. This is what it'll look like when it's all done. I don't have them all done yet, but there you go. Real quickly, I wanted to show you, I have done this little water bowl trick on all of my racks that don't have built-in water bowls. Trust me, if you deal constantly with spilling water, this will change your life.